As a journalist and as a survivor, I know the lifelong damage abuse can cause. But as an adult, I've never looked an offender in the eyes and asked them why. Today I'm on my way to meet James, a former prep school teacher and a paedophile.
The teacher who sexually assaulted me is dead, so now I'm never going to get the chance to ask the questions I want to ask. But there are universal questions I need to ask for me and for the thousands of people like me who were abused.
James has served time in prison for sexual assaults on children in the 70s and 80s. His views are shocking, but shed light on the culture that allowed sexual abuse to become almost accepted.
I was sexually abused by not one master, but by 5 when I was at prep school. It never done me any harm. They made my life so much more pleasant in various ways that I accepted it. I was getting something from them that I wasn't getting from my parents. Dinky toys, cigarette cards, whole sets, and the love and affection which I was deprived of at home.
When you got the job, with background checks done on you?
None whatsoever, no.
And that was normal at the time?
Yes, yeah.
And when you arrived there, were you aware that there was unorthodox relationships between the teachers and the boys?
At least 2 of my predecessors had been dismissed for intimacy with the boys, shall we say. And then after about the first year, I learned that the deputy headmaster was also intimately involved with a number of boys.
And when you say intimate relationship, what does that mean?
It's a simple case of a master literally falling in love with an attractive boy.
I find this very hard to hear, and I'm particularly horrified to discover he believes his first victim had actually wanted to be abused.
It was the boy that instigated the actual intimacy. He approached me one day and suggested that I did something to him. Simple as that. And that's not unusual.
That was to perform a sexual act?
Yes. Yeah.
The initial boy we've been speaking about was 10 years old, 11 years old, I think?
He was, he was nearly 12.
He was nearly 12.
Yeah.
Do you feel he gave consent?
Yes.
How can one know that with someone that age?
Good question. A 12-year-old boy is just as capable of giving consent as any other age.
For a survivor like me, it's upsetting to hear a paedophile convince himself that his victim can be complicit. It is one of the cruelest and most damaging aspects of abuse.
Do you think what you've described is still going on in boarding schools today?
My guess is that yes, it is, because it is traditional. I know you won't like that word, but it is traditional. It is